So what they decided to do is, Africa, we're going to give you ownership of Africa, and you basically take our successes and move them forward. But the way we're going to do that is we're going to give you one of the best Al-Qaeda operational planners ever to exist, and we're going to relocate him from Afghanistan to Mali. So the interesting part is the person who they did this with, his name is Abu Muhammad al-Masri. He's also known as Abdullah Ahmed Abdullah. Every person who knows him is like, he's dead. The Israelis think they assassinated him in Iran. They didn't. They killed the wrong guy. So Abu Muhammad is alive. Al-Qaeda has deployed him to Mali, and he's now, like I said, the head of Al-Qaeda in Africa. And he's also the father-in-law of Hamza bin Laden's second wife.
Whoa.
But it's even better. He's also was involved in the Kenya and Tanzania embassy bombings, and that's why we think U.S. Embassy Bamako is one of the embassies under the most threat right now. The GDI, which is the Taliban CIA, is supposed to be going after ISIS, and they're the ones getting, like, supposedly the majority of the ISIS dollars to hunt ISIS. The biggest issue with GDI right now is they're holding 2 Americans hostage. For everyone who just heard that, yes, you're being lied to. The American in custody, Ryan Corbett, is locked in a cell with another American. It's never been made public. The Taliban are actually holding 3 Americans. Last week, the press finally realize it's 2, but they don't even know. So the Taliban's holding 3 Americans. 2 are locked in a cell together, okay? We are paying them weekly to go after ISIS, and they basically have 2 Americans locked in their basement, suffering like severe health consequences in GDI.
Who are they?
Ryan Corbett is one of them, and then the other one hasn't been made public. The other 2 Americans haven't been made public yet. So that's the biggest problem. We should not be giving a penny to the organization holding Americans in their basement.
You know this, we have a Patreon account. They're our top supporters. They're the reason I get to sit here and you get to sit here, and they've been with us since the beginning. So one of the things I do is I offer them a question in the interview. First one is from Leo. What type of attacks and locations do you foresee these terrorists choosing?
I don't think a lot has changed on what terrorists want to attack, right? Like, they want to hit soft targets. They want to embarrass governments or whomever their enemy is. They want to make a lot of things seem it was inspired by them, right? Even just in the last couple of weeks, we've seen lone wolf videos come out from Al-Qaeda, then Al-Qaeda in the Arab Peninsula and ISIS, right? And they're like, hey, go do things inspired by us. So they still want to kind of get a lot of people involved to kind of like plus up their numbers, right? And make them seem bigger than they are and more powerful than they are. Another thing I think we really need to stay focused on too is attacks on embassies and consulates.
I don't love the information, but you're one of the only people that are out there reporting real info on some of the threats that we face and about the terrorist organizations. And you're going to be given a down and dirty intel brief on all things terrorists in the Shawn Ryan Show newsletter. So if you guys are interested and you want to keep up to date on what Sarah's tracking and some of the stuff going on within the terrorist world, sign up for the Shawn Ryan Show newsletter.
I joke a lot about terrorism, but obviously it is a serious threat, and we do have a major problem getting information out on what the terrorists are doing right now.
Yeah. You'd mentioned the lone wolf videos. What came out recently? What specific lone wolf videos are you referring to?
Yeah, it's just basically the different terrorist groups saying, hey, go do attacks that are inspired by us. One of the more popular ones that's out right now is ISIS put one out to do with the Paris Olympics. So they said, hey, go to where crowds are in Paris. We don't care if you use a knife. We don't care if you use a vehicle. Cause havoc and attack these crowds surrounding the Olympic events. So they're asking people to just go do things. And then obviously they're probably planning things too. So they want to have a large number of attacks if they can bring in these inspired people.
Where are they sending out this messaging?
Most of it goes out in Telegram is the best place to get at least ISIS messaging.
Okay. Wow.